Why did we struggle to establish the run?
You know, I think the injuries probably played a part in that. But my one concern going into this game was Atlanta has a very quick front, and they do move around, pre-snap. And they do have Grady Jarrett, who is very good. And they're good at shooting gaps and finding gaps in the run game to get to negative runs. And so I think that was part of it, certainly. And certainly after Sheriff went down, I saw that a few times. But so I think that was part of it. And then, listen, the number of carries. It's hard. I felt like this was going to be a game where you're going to have some negative carries because of their style of play. But if you can stay patient, and then there were times there was a time where I think it led to some impatience at times. And then there was one time where, and I was watching this morning, where Michael Floyd goes in motion to the left. He's got to come back across formation as a blocker, kind of in a pull, almost like in a pulling action for Peterson. But they're like step by step when Peterson gets the ball. So there's like whether I don't know what was wrong on the play, whether it's the timing of the receiver, the impatient, I don't know, but it's not how it should go. And part of it is I think there's that penetration that gets in your head that you got to go faster. When the reality is sometimes you have to be a little bit more patient. So, and again, I don't know what happened on that play. I just know that's what it looked like. So I just think there were a number of issues. But again, when you can't. Atlanta could sustain drives. They kept getting third and longs. They kept putting them in good situations to rush the passer and kept failing. That's also why Atlanta ran the ball, because they got a lot of chances. The Redskins did not.
Talking to John Keim, covers the Redskins for ESPN.com, and you mentioned maybe the matchup that Atlanta's defense, even though they were ranked very low, fast, was able to stop Adrian Peterson. If you actually looked at the Giants game, and they gave up 399 yards passing to Eli, they held Saquon Barkley to under 100 total yards for the first time all season.
Good.
So maybe they are trending in the yeah, and the rankings maybe were a little bit misleading because they were able to shut down Saquon Barkley, and now they did it against Adrian Peterson. Let's talk about the offensive.
Just one thing on top of that. I tweeted out something before the game about the stats they had with Grady Jarrett in the game and when he's not. Mm-hmm. And there's a distinct difference. And so he makes a big difference. I think that helps him too because they have lost other guys. So we'll see.
Right. All right, so let's talk about the offensive line. We know that Trent Williams is not going to be back next week. So Sean Laval gets hurt. Brandon Sheriff gets hurt. That means Tony Bergstrom, Jerron Christian have to play. Morgan Moses, who was out of the game, came back in the game. What are we looking at come Sunday?
Well, it looks like Laval's out for sure.
I would say Laval's out. Listen, it just is such speculation, and I would be surprised if Sheriff is there too. So, I don't know. I think they're bracing for things today, so we'll see. But I would be surprised if either one of them would be out there, and that's just an initial gut feeling without a doubt, but I think they'd be surprised too.
So who's left?
I think what you would see on Sunday, if let's say that's the case, then you're going Nseki at left tackle, and then it depends on how they see Tampa's front. It could be Bergstrom at guard, Rouye at center, and then maybe Casey Dunn at guard or somebody else, and then Moses at right tackle. So. That would be a guess, see if they can get done ready to play. It's not an ideal situation, but it's what they're in, just like last year.
Who else do they have? Somebody else goes down. So they have Jerron Christian. Who else would they have as depth?
Yeah, that would. They're going to have to sign somebody.
Yeah. That's scary, man. And then Jordan Reed missed.
It's not a good situation.
Jordan Reed missed a large chunk of at least one big series, right? Because I saw him fall awkwardly. He came back in, but that's not good. So he's obviously banged up. Who else is nicked from that game?
Let's see. There were Quentin Dunbar.
Right.
He had his shin/hamstring issue flare up again, and it's funny because he got off to a good start, and then you could see like he was struggling with it a little bit early, and then he eventually had to take himself out. So that's another one to watch, and you're facing a team this week that likes to throw the ball a lot too, so they need him out there.
John, you watch the film each week. Not all of us do, but we just watch on TV. Alex Smith. We're halfway through the season. I said, just worse than what I expected.
Yeah, no, I think there have been some times where, listen, it's never as, well, sometimes it is, but I'm not sure in this case it's as simple as like, well, everything's on him. But if the passing game's not working, it's all on him, because there have been so many issues at receiver that, guys in and out, that it's really hard to get anything going, I think, at times. And I think for a guy like Alex Smith, who is in that, the tier of quarterbacks he's in, you're going to need help. I mean, he's not a guy who's going to come in and carry a team with his arm. That's just never been who he is. I think there have been some times where some of the decision-making, maybe some of the accuracy has surprised me, and I think that's been, and there have been some times where you've seen guys open that haven't been hit, and sometimes it's a matter of holding the ball a little bit too long, maybe not waiting for a play to develop for whatever reason. Some of that could be, it's like, okay, the longer you're in this offense, maybe the better that comes, because you look at his numbers in Kansas City early on, they weren't great. They got better when the talent got better and he operated it well.